Hey, how's it going? Today I will be showing you a secret with a cat that's somewhere hidden on the map. Not only that, but I am also going to be going over some bugs and things that have just popped up in Cyberpunk 2077 in the latest update 2.1. Also, I do want to say that if you have yet to watch my previous video, then I definitely recommend it because there's a bunch of secrets there as well. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Let's start off by talking about the cats that can be found within Cyberpunk 2077 in the latest update 2.1. In this patch, they have actually introduced a few new cats. This one can be found over here towards the right side, and this is the only one that I'm aware of. I think there is another one out there that I came across, but I cannot remember the location. But once you're here, you should see a cat right here on the right side, as if, I guess this dude's trying to work his daily job here, Get some cat food and then obviously let people on the ride. So if you give him some food, what's great is if you go to the chest, you can see that it's going to be opened up. The cat's eyes will glow, and then that will let you know that the chest can be opened. The rewards are nothing to go home and talk about, but to be fair here, it's not bad. I mean, at least it's something. So now that we got that out of the way, I do want to talk about something else here as I mentioned at the start of the video. The latest update just surfaced a few bugs, and man, it is bad. This is not going to be a hate video on Cyberpunk at all. I'm just talking about a few bugs so that we can potentially see another update here soon. And to be honest, I'm sure we will see a fix soon. Maybe a hot fix, maybe something like that. We'll see exactly what goes on in the future here. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of the problems right now. The first issue that has popped up as of late is the finishers. You can no longer use your finisher at all, so it's just going to do like a basic attack. It's not going to do the animated version of it. I will be showing an example here soon, but first we need to go ahead and read this post right here. This Reddit user, Dude Sparkle, had this to say right here, quote, "New bug with new update. Finisher stopped working. All the melee weapons like katana, dagger, chainsaw, mantis blade, etc. don't do their well-animated finishers, only kills like the ones on the video. Is it the same with YouTube's too? I'm on PS5. End quote. So yeah, we're definitely all experiencing this. It does not matter if you're on PS5, Xbox, PC, you're all experiencing this problem right here. I've even experienced it. And I'll show you an example right here that I talked about previously. You can see that right away, I'm just slashing down, nothing's happening, no animation, no nada. So here's the thing, I doubt CDProjektRed is going to let this slide. I guarantee you they will release another update, because why would you release the Ultimate Edition, if this was going to happen? I doubt this was their plan, so I'm sure we will see something here soon in terms of a hotfix or potentially an update. Moving on towards the next bug, some players have experienced some sort of launch issues after 2.1. For example, this Reddit user named Golden Prankster had this to say, quote, "My game won't launch after update 2.1. So every time I launch the game, Steam opens up a red launcher or whatever. Then I click play and it opens and does the splash screen, then just goes black. It was working perfectly fine yesterday, then today it just wouldn't work. I've uninstalled Phantom Liberty, still didn't work. I uninstalled then reinstalled the game and still nothing. Anyone having this issue?" End quote. So here's the thing. Actually, a lot of players have been experiencing this. A good portion have, and I do not think there has been any word about this from the developers' side. Hopefully something will be mentioned here soon in terms of some sort of hotfix or some sort of patch. Thankfully, I have yet to come across this because that would be a huge pain. Moving towards the next bug here. This one is pretty bad as well, but it's not as bad as the previous one where you cannot launch the game. What's going on right now is a good portion of the players have been losing their icons for their guns, weapons, swords, whatever you want to call it, right? Their arsenal. They've lost those icons. This has actually popped up in the past quite a lot, and it has now resurfaced once more. The cool thing is the developers have fixed this prior, so I'm sure they'll do it now because all those developers over at CDProjektRed are awesome, man. They have done a stellar job on this game, and kudos to them for winning the game awards over there. Awesome stuff. I missed out on it, unfortunately, but hey, it happens. Anyways, what we're going to take a look at here is an example of what it looks like. This Reddit user was able to provide an example named Krona Demon Sword. This Reddit user had this to say, quote, this Reddit user had this to say right here, quote, 2.01 broke my items icons. That's Black Unicorn, by the way, end quote. What he's talking about here is actually 2.1. I think some people are getting confused between them all. Continuing on to show further proof of this and give you examples, you can see that this Reddit user named FrogBlast964 had this to say, quote, anyone else getting messed up inventory icons since the update? A large number of icons, mostly for weapons, but also for some consumables and clothing items, have been messed up for me since the update. Instead of the actual icons of, say, a weapon like Satori, it's a jumbled mashup of 2 or more other icons for other weapons. Very odd and annoying. Is this happening to anyone else? End quote. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, there was someone else that was experiencing that problem, and it's a good portion as well. It's kind of divided, right? There's a good portion that are experiencing one bug, while another group may be experiencing another. And, you know, these things happen in video games, right? Continuing on towards the next bug, this one is terrible as well. If you take a look on the screen here, this dude cannot upgrade to 5++, or tier 5++, I should say. And so what you're going to see here, this Reddit username ReaperKing2704 had this to say, quote, Cyberpunk 2.1 on Xbox Series X. I just want to put this, anyone else having really buggy experience with this new update. Not a single iconic weapon can be upgraded to tier 5++. I can't equip, remove, or replace any cyberware at a Ripper dock, and the finishers are broken. End quote. We already knew about the finishers, but as for the rest of this, I personally have not seen this happen to anyone else. I'm sure this is probably a rare instance. Regardless, this is another bug that has popped up as of late. The next bug that we're going to take a look at is going to be the controller stick drift bug. Okay, some of you may have thought your controller's broken or something's going wrong, and yeah, it's not your controller. Nor is it your weapons either. So what you need to do is pause the game, go down to settings, then go to the second tab, which is going to be controls. From here, you're going to choose inner dead zone. You want to pretty much change this to either 0.10 if it's not that already, then, or if you need to, you can actually increase it more. You can also mess with the outer dead zone, but honestly, you probably only need to mess with the inner dead zone only. So that's something to note down. But when you do this, you should see that your controller is perfectly fine now. You can move around, shoot easily and accurately, and there's no problems. If you're currently subscribed and you've seen this before, you're probably thinking, oh man, you've talked about this already. Well, I did talk about it previously in one video or 2 videos ago, I can't remember. Yet anyways, the reason why I'm bringing this up again is just to help out more players. I know that it's a huge issue. A lot of people do not know how to fix this, and if this does help, let me know down below. Alrighty, now we're going to talk about the last and final bug that I'm aware of. If you guys have been experiencing some more bugs or issues, let me know down below in the comments section. If you have a question, I will be responding within the first hour or 2, as I mentioned at the end of every video. So let's go ahead and take a look on the screen here. This Steam user named Non-Beery or Byrie or however the hell you say that, what he said right here is, quote, 2.1 broke my controls and it's becoming unplayable. It seems a lot of controls are now hard-coded and you can't even leave any keys unbinded in the settings, but the thing is there's a lot of keybinds missing, and you can't rebind them at all because they're not included in the settings. I've seen footage on YouTube, all of them worked fine, but it's all broken on my end. Things that broke that I've experienced so far: can't select contacts on the phone, can't select vehicles, I still can bring the menu up, can't switch radio FMs, can't turn off radio, can't open up radio when on foot, can't adjust radio volume, on radio menu, not on sound settings, can't mark favorite items, can't disassemble items, every metro futures, I can't even exit the metro, so I'm stuck on infinite train ride. Oof, yeah, that's a big one. That is a big one. So yeah, this is another issue that I've seen quite a lot frequently, and my binds were actually messed up quite a lot as well, but I'm alright with it, I truly am. I think the coolest thing about CDProjektRed, or actually all of the developers over there, they do put a lot of hard work and passion and a lot of time that they probably end up missing with relationships or family or whatever the case may be, right? They've done a great job over there and I appreciate them, man. This is great. And sure, there's bugs and there's things that pop up every once in a while, but these developers have stuck to it from the beginning to the end and they have done a great job. So even if there's bugs and stuff like that, I'm sure there's going to be another update or some sort of hotfix that they'll talk about here shortly. Well, this is pretty much the end of the video. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that, comment down below. I will be replying to the comments and questions down below within the first hour or 2. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next video.